Jaya Jaya Myra. Hello and welcome to Mind Bloom. It's so good to have you. I'm such a big fan. I cannot even believe that you accepted my invite to to come
I
on
am
my
super excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just go into this conversation. I can't wait to hear your answers. What makes your mind bloom, Jaya Jaya?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's this quest for self-discovery and making the world a better place. Like just figuring out what makes me me, what makes me tick, what I can do to utilize my own talents and gifts to make the world a better place. Those are the things that really set me on fire. And being able to help other people do the same thing.
And you do, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from your podcast to your YouTube channel, your Twitter feed, Instagram, you definitely give us so much insight into not only your journey, but tips to help us as well to
Yeah,
become
that's
better
the
and
whole goal.
healthier.
I like to
Yeah.
motivate and inspire people. I think that that's super important. Like the
Mm,
best way that we can help other people to succeed is to inspire them and encourage
mm,
them, not to try to be bossy or say this is the right way. It's like, what can I do to actually set you on fire to make your life better? So I'm always trying to motivate, to inspire, to share my
mm,
story.
mm.
I will answer any question people ask me. I am an open book. I don't think that we should have stigma towards anything or secrets. So I'm an open book about everything, and I'm here to share my journey with other people so that other people know they're not alone.
You are, yeah, absolutely. So, speaking about your journey, I am so curious because you were a cancer immunology scientist.
I was, yes.
Would you please walk us through this personal journey of yours into
Yeah, what
self-inquiry?
so what I why I'm doing that, and now why I'm an author and run like a boutique PR firm. Yeah, so basically there was a few things going on that kind of culminated at the same time, which led to a big change. So to make a really long story short, the biggest part of that was when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, because it really wrecked and debilitated my life. Like I wasn't functional. I had such horrible headaches and brain fog and fatigue and physical pain in my body. I literally wasn't capable of doing my work anymore. So that like led to huge massive change. But parts of the things like that led up to that was being dissatisfied, not no longer wanting to test on animals. Like I had a huge crisis of conscience working in the pharmaceutical
Mm,
industry and in academia. Like we always have to test on animals for preclinical trials, and it never made sense to me. Why are we killing a creature to try to find health and healing for another creature? It's like there's got to be a better way of doing things. So the icing on the cake to me was when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and literally the Western medical system could not do one single thing to make me better. In fact, every treatment, everything they tried actually made me physically worse and feel more sick. So I just walked away from Western medicine completely. Not like it was a bad thing, but I knew with my scientific background and training, they were ill equipped to deal with chronic conditions, especially back in the day when I was diagnosed, like 2007 ish, somewhere around there. 13 years ago? We know a lot
mm,
more now than we did back then. Doctors didn't have any good resources at that time, or at least the people I was seeing. They just wanted to throw prescription drugs at you. Definitely not my way of combating or dealing with things. So I just decided to say, screw this, walk away, find a completely different way to heal myself. And that involved making a ton of different changes to my life to be true to myself. So that meant leaving my career as a research
mm,
scientist, completely walking away before I defended my PhD. Even though I have all the PhD level coursework, I don't have a PhD to my name, because why have the piece of paper for an industry I wasn't going to work in anymore? And I eventually started leveraging skills that I had been using all along, like my strong skills in writing and technical writing, and then just started making a career off of that. So then I eventually started my first communications consulting company. Now I'm actually on to my second communications and PR consulting
mm,
company, author and speaker. So all the work that I'm doing now is really in alignment with my core values, with my ethos, with my talents and gifts. And so I'm able to take everything that God has given me to be successful and to put that out in the world to help make other people successful, whether it's sharing my insight and knowledge in natural health and wellness, things that I've learned from my spiritual tradition, or just like my innate skills in writing and communication to help other people spread their message. I can say that everything I do now is 100% in alignment with my values and my ethos. And thanks to that, that's probably the primary reason I don't ever get sick anymore. So not only did I fully heal from fibromyalgia when Western medicine says that there's no cure, like I have no trace of the disease.
Mm.
If I were to go to a doctor now, they would never know. They would
Mm.
never be able to tell I had fibromyalgia. But I just don't even get sick anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is just this holistic lifestyle change and just really aligning with who you are as a person. It makes such a huge difference in everything.
Yeah, tell us more about that shift into purpose and alignment and a holistic view of the human being.
Oh
And
yeah,
please.
it's huge. So we even have scientific evidence now that shows people who live their purpose and are happier in general, your immune system is stronger. We know that your mood and your well-being affects your microbiome in your gut and on your skin. These things are so closely connected to mental health and well-being, to hormone regulation, to everything, that literally just being happier and living your purpose can make you physically healthier, stronger, have a better immune system, lower cortisol, all of those amazing things. So just think about it even on an emotional level. When you're more in alignment with your ethos, you don't get tired as quickly. You don't get fatigued. You're able to do more work. You're able to focus longer. It just really helps you to be your best person when everything that you're doing is in alignment and like you're not trying to push against your conscious, quite
Right.
literally.
Right, right, right. So, the people at home who knows they're struggling with mental illness, sometimes people don't even know. I sure didn't. Um,
Very true.
or maybe even breast cancer, the audience at home. Could you give us some tips, some insights into what can people start doing little by little towards that alignment and
Yeah,
purposeful living?
absolutely. Now, I'm a huge fan of meditation and mindfulness, but
Okay.
surprisingly, that is not the first thing I ever tell people to do because it's really hard to go and meditate, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't know how and you feel overwhelmed and you're going to sit down and your mind is like never going to silence itself. So I like to set people up to succeed, not to fail. And I'm all about simple, practical changes. So, what can we do to build synergy in day to day life? Because we only have 24 hours in a day. So what is one thing that I can do that it can impact my life in 5 positive ways,
Okay.
essentially? So some very common things that people can do are to eat foods that are going to help support your gut microbiome, like things that have prebiotic fiber in them that is going to nourish your microbiome, or take probiotics, which is that actual microbiome, those bacteria. Just having that good balance in your gut is actually going to improve your mental health and well-being because of the gut-brain connection. So when your microbiome is healthy, you tend to have a healthy and happy mind as well.
Mm.
And also, I always tell people, if you want to do like one good thing for yourself, cultivate a daily habit. Set aside 15 to 20 minutes a day to do something that you love doing that is just for you. Like maybe sitting down having a cup of tea, maybe it's reading your favorite book, maybe it's going for a walk. But you have to have that self-care time where you are prioritizing yourself, and then that's going to make it so much easier when you start trying to do other things for yourself. Like maybe you know you need to do exercise, or you want to meditate, or you want to do things that are more challenging.
Mm.
If you don't already have a routine where you're doing something that you enjoy, you are much more likely to fail at your endeavors when you try to do something that you don't enjoy. When you're making yourself happy, you build synergy, and synergy builds energy. And then you can use that energy and momentum to propel you forward, to give you energy for the things that you want to do less.
That's perfect. So those tips are actually very organic in the sense that
Very organic.
you don't have to go and buy a book. You don't have to go and listen to this or that. You have those things with you already. You
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
yeah.
And
You
same
just
thing like the food that you put
yeah,
like in your body. Like
yeah.
you can eat foods that are going to boost your mood and your mindset too. Like there's some foods which can cause depression and anxiety, like processed sugars, things that cause like addictive behaviors. Definitely stay away from those sort of echelon of foods. They're not going to help your mental health. But have foods that stimulate dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine in the body, like bananas, dark chocolate, and cacao. Who doesn't like dark chocolate, right?
Yeah.
I know there's some people, but dark chocolate is really good for you. Or go for blueberries, eat the bananas. Eat the foods that make serotonin in the body, like have salmon or things with omega fatty acids, hemp seeds, chia seeds. chicken and poultry, milk, if you have that kind of stuff. You know, you can find vegan and non-vegan options that are going to help you. So we all eat food every day. Go eat food that's going to help boost your mood at the same time.
Absolutely.